here with Coach Collins. We'll start with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions. Coach?
Well, I'm really proud of my team tonight. I think in the course I tell you guys we're in such a sensationalistic culture right now where it's the stark opposites of great versus terrible. And, we told our team coming into this game, did we have a poor effort in our last game? Yes, but you get knocked to the floor in this conference a lot. I think there were 9 teams pretty much 500 last year, which means everyone kind of beats each other up throughout the course of the year. We had a tough performance, and it's what do you do after that? When you get knocked to the floor, do you quit or do you bounce back and fight? And I didn't know how we were going to play, but I know the character of the guys in my locker room. I knew they were going to fight. I knew that for sure. And a funny thing happens when you fight and you're together. You seem to make shots. The ball seems to kind of find you. Good things kind of, you guys hear me all the time. I'm a big believer in the basketball gods, and I feel like the basketball gods usually reward you, when you are right about the game, and when you're not, you usually get punished. And we had great balance tonight. I thought we did a much better job. I was really disappointed in myself. Too much standing in our last game, too much reliance on Boo to try to make every play, and that's not maximizing the guys that we have. And I thought we made some nice adjustments over the last couple days to move the ball a little bit, get more player movement, more cutting, more off ball, and that really helps Ryan and Ty and Brooks, 3 kind of wing guys that can move and pass and cut and play off curls and then become passers. And I think it takes a little bit of pressure off Boo too, where he doesn't have to make every play. And then when you need him, he can make like those 2 floaters he made, were incredible at the end. I mean, what do you say about Boo? 19 points, 10 assists, no turnovers, in a high-level game against a veteran backcourt that's pressuring. Guys are holding him, grabbing him, pushing him the whole night, and he just fights through it, and he keeps his composure, and he plays hard, and he plays right. And I just thought he was fantastic, and I thought Ty was awesome tonight. And give Luke Hunger a lot of credit. He, for a freshman to come in and play the way he did, in his first start, in a big game like this, a big atmosphere, shows a lot about who he is. I was really proud of his performance as well.
Tom was effusive in his praise of you guys. Said they didn't play Spartan basketball, but he wanted to make sure he praised you guys. Said it was the best effort you've seen from you guys this season. How would you define this team's Wildcat basketball identity?
Well, I think we're starting to get some absolutes in our program about, just how hard we play and how we compete on a night-to-night basis. I mean, you're not always going to make shots the way we did tonight, 50-something% for the game, making 9 threes and the ball went in. But I liked our spirit. I liked our character. I liked our grit. I thought we played physical. Nights when we haven't won, we haven't been physical. We've been bullied a little bit. And tonight, I thought we flipped the script. I thought we were the more physical team. I thought we battled and they're difficult to defend. I mean, Tyson Walker's a great player. He's not a good player. He's a great college guard. I mean, I'm such a big fan of how he plays, and obviously A.J. Hogarth has a lot of ability. The way Jaden's now playing, he's shooting the ball, making plays. Fortunately, we did a pretty good job on Hall. I mean, he had 25 in their last game and is a big X factor for them. To be able to kind of limit his production was big. But look at our balance. I mean, I think a main formula for us, too, is taking care of the ball and sharing the ball. 22 assists, 5 turnovers. When those numbers are like that, usually we're going to be in a pretty good spot. But I just like the way we fought. Had we fought like this tonight and lost the game, I would have been disappointed, but at least I would have felt better about we were on the right track towards what we need to do to be competitive in this league.
A run at all, and it looked like there was a moment where Hogarth had a rebound, came down and one, gets a stop, and then there's a turnover right there. That was a pretty, preventing that one surge from them. How do you do that, and how important was that?
Well, when they got a little bit of a rhythm, they got some baskets. They got I thought they got in the paint. They were driving us a little bit. AJ made 2 big threes there. I think they cut it to 11. And I thought we we really needed a bucket. And I thought Matt Nicholson Ryan Langborg made a great cut. It was late in the shot clock. Matt Nicholson hit him. I thought it was a great catch by Ryan. He made a layup there kind of late in the clock to put it back to 13. We were able to kind of never let them get it to single digits, which I thought was important. We never turned it over against only 5 turnovers. When you don't turn it over, it's hard for them to get out and push and run like they want to, and that's when they're really good, when they get in the open floor. I thought we got back, we set our defense, and kind of made them take some tougher shots. Obviously, they're going to make some. They have really good players, but I just thought our ability to keep poised when they tried it, we had whatever, it was 19, and they cut it to 11, to your point. Hogard made 2 threes. It looked like we were teetering a little bit. We were getting a little tired. I thought we had a couple big buckets in that stretch to kind of keep it in double figures.
Heading into Purdue, you said you weren't sure if your team had kind of the firepower to win games in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You've since won both of your Big Ten games in that range. Do you expect that to continue? And what has led to your offense kind of operating at a higher clip and intensity than you originally expected?
Yeah, I mean, I was really pleased with how we played offensively. Like I said, we need to move players and move the ball, and when we get a little bit stagnant is when we watch Boo play a little bit too much, and that's not on him. That's on the other guys, and it's also the game that I'm calling offensively. And I just felt, evaluating where we were at, that we needed to do some things with more movement in the offense. And I think you saw tonight, we had more off-ball screening. We still have our men. Boo is so good in pick and rolls, but I thought we were able to maximize Barnheiser, Berry, and Langborg. I needed to be better for those guys to help them get easier shots and easier looks, because we need their production. And what it does too, they got some curls, they got some separation, and then that allows them to get in the gaps and be passers as well. So, I thought our guys played a really good offensive game. The ball moved, the ball didn't stick. We weren't just standing around watching. We were cutting when things broke down. We had some good actions where they call them ghost screens, where you kind of run and kind of get out, and it opens the floor for guys to drive and kick. And I just thought overall, the efficiency was great. 54% overall, 5 guys in double figures. I don't know if we've had that all year long. Maybe we have, but when we get that kind of balance, we're pretty good.
Talking a little bit about Boo there, in Coach Izzo's comments, he said Boo has gone from a selfish, out-of-control player to now one of the best players in the league. What are your thoughts on his phrasing there and on the way Boo has developed as a player? Yeah,
well, Coach Izzo's been around forever. There's no one I respect more in this game than what he's done. Outside of my own coach, who's my mentor and who I learned from, Coach Izzo's been someone that I've studied from afar and modeled kind of what we want our program to be about as we've come to Northwestern. The things he stands for is the way his teams play. So for him to praise, I take it as a compliment. I know how he believes things, and whether the way it was said or not, for him to praise, I think it's a testament to someone who has come in as a freshman and learned and gotten better. That's a novel idea in today's day and age. He came in, he had some great games. I think he still had 28 or something as a freshman against me. So he still had great games, but he had to learn how to be a point guard. He had to learn better shot selection. He had to learn how to manage a game. He's become a much better defender. He's gotten in much better shape, so he doesn't, play as tired. And now you look at a finished product of someone who's been here for 5 years, and he's had full trust in the coaches, which is something that I'm indebted to forever. There doesn't mean there's ever times when you don't butt heads or you get after each other a little bit and those things. But at the end of the day, he has trusted me and our staff with his development. And it's just really cool to see the process play out, and now you see a finished product of a guy who's as good as any guard in the country, in my opinion.
Their last 5 games and with that 5-game winning streak there, I'm sorry about the Baylor game, and you were scouting it and thinking how to take them out of the run and the momentum they were on and how they were playing. What was sort of the key to that in your mind, and how much of it was, those are all home games or home environments, and so this would be different. Anyway.
Yeah, honestly, you watch a lot of film when you get ready for these teams, and when I watched their first couple conference games, back in early December where they lost, and then you put on the tape of Baylor and Indiana State and Penn State, they were just playing a lot faster. They were pushing the ball. Their tempo had picked up. I thought they were playing harder defensively. And I told Coach Izzo before the game, I said, man, you got these guys playing. I thought it was coming into the night. I thought it was kind of what everyone thought they were going to, a lot of you guys had them as the prohibitive favorite to win the league, coming in, or them in Purdue and top 3 in the country. And the reason you have it is because of Coach, but also the players and the guys they have in the program. And I thought they were playing what they did to Baylor. That Indiana State team they played is tremendous. To what they did there, how they played against the other night. I was having nightmares watching the Penn State game, watching them run up and down the floor and make shots and play with confidence. But fortunately, we were able to kind of slow them down a little bit. I never felt like they got into the open floor, and credit our crowd as well. I mean, I thought our students were awesome. I mean, we needed it. It was so fun to see the environment. Really cool to see what we've created here, especially now that we're into the Big Ten, and we need it. You play these really good teams. That's what we see in other buildings. To have our fans rally behind us the way they did and the students to be into the game was pretty awesome.
Going back to Bowie, now that, Billy McKinney, there's the announcement today with the retirement ceremony, Bowie's starting to kind of close in, or at least he's on pace to be the all-time leading scorer. Like, how would you put him in the Northwestern basketball program GOAT conversation?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be up there, right? I mean, look at what he's done. Forget about just the stats, the winning. I mean, we've only been to 2 NCAA tournaments. Hopefully that'll be more. That's the goal. And he took one of those teams there and won a game, and he led a team to a second place finish in the Big Ten last year. I mean, we came in second place. I mean, that's, as a point guard, forget about the numbers. It's about what he's meant as a winning player. And what's really cool about Boo is that's what he wants his legacy to be. Like, he's not caught up in all those numbers, and he's gonna end up, and he's gonna be probably assists and scoring and steal. He's gonna be up there in a lot of things. And I know, it's really important for him to win this year and to be able to kind of stamp, what happened last year and to come back and add to that legacy. So, I mean, and that's no disrespect. I mean, I'm a historian and I love the guys. I mean, whether it's Johnny Sherna or Billy or Evan Eschmeyer, who was a contemporary of mine, or way back when with Jimmy Stacken's era and all those guys that were really good, and Joe Rucklick and all that stuff. I mean, I don't think you can ever lose sight of the history of the older guys who played here. But in terms of the modern era, I think he's right up there with the same accomplishments or better than anybody who's ever played in our uniform.
This 2017 team in that conversation.
Well, I have a soft spot for all those guys, so you're going to put me under truce. But I mean, that team was so special because what they did to change the narrative of this program. So it's hard. I remember Kentucky with Pitino. I think they retired all 5 starters of the '92 team. Remember Pitino took over that program, and it was in a rough place, and those guys brought him back to the Elite Eight. And I because of how special, and then they were able to win national championships and all those things. So those 2017 guys will be fully remembered by being the trailblazers, to get this program over the hump. And all those guys will have a real soft spot in my heart.
Coach, what went into the decision to give Luke Hunger his first career start? And how would you evaluate what you saw from him tonight?
Yeah, just a gut feel and energy to start the game. There wasn't a lot to feel positive about at Champaign the other night, but I did think his energy, I thought he was competing. I thought he had some pop to him. He brought some life to the game, and I just didn't like the way we were starting games. And look, all 3 of those big guys are going to play in every game. That's how it is, and whoever's playing well is going to end up, playing the most. And my instinct for this game was we needed to shake it up a little bit. We needed to get a little bit of a new life in there, and hopefully he would just bring. I didn't know he was going to get the first basket and score 10 points, but I knew his energy. He's an energetic kid. He's a vocal kid. He's an enthusiastic guy. I knew he would maybe give some energy to those other guys, and man, he was awesome. Just really proud of him, and hopefully he'll use this as a springboard. I mean, he's a freshman. I mean, he broke his foot last year, so not only did he not play, he really didn't practice with us. So for all intents and purposes, this is a freshman kind of going through it. So for him to come out and, after playing kind of in a complimentary role, to come out tonight and start and give it the boost he did was pretty awesome. Really proud of Luke.
Last one in the middle.
following up on the tempo, it seemed like in the second half when Tyson was trying to speed up the game, again, you guys were able to respond. How were you able to slow him down even when they were trying to play really fast?
Yeah, I don't know if we did. I mean, he had 27, but he's a hard guy to stop. I think what we tried to do is keep him off the foul line. Make him be a 2-point scorer. That's where I hit 4 threes is too much. We wanted him to be a pull-up jump shooter and just try to contest it and see if we could make a miss with some of those. But he's terrific. He's fast. He's quick. He's shifty. He's a tremendous shooter. Again, I think he's a great college guard. He's definitely worthy. He's one of the top guards in our conference. He's a real tough guard. To play against cuff cover on the defensive end. We tried our best to get back. I mean, you say that for 25 years against Michigan State. Get back. Make them try to play in the half court. And, I thought for the most part they got out a little bit, but we did a pretty good job of making them play half court basketball. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
How do you evaluate what you saw from Luke Hunger in his first career start?
I mean, I'm just super proud of Luke. Luke is one of my close friends. Obviously, he's one of my teammates, but just the process and I know his last name's Hunger, but like how hungry he's been to get out there and contribute to the team and just give off like effort. It's really amazing what he's been doing for us lately, and so I'm just super proud of him.
I guess for either of you, can you guys kind of talk about the balance sort of offensive production? Obviously, 5 players had double digits, and Boo, you had a career-high 10 assists. Can you kind of talk about
Yeah, I feel like coming into this game, Coach really wanted us to prioritize moving without the ball and trying to get each other open, to get each other good shots. And we have really good players on our team. And so just, when somebody drives and there's help to kick out to others and just to move when you don't have the ball to get open shots. And I think we did a good job tonight of finding each other.
You guys had a 15-point lead at the half, and you've seen some leads evaporate over the years. What was the key to holding on to that lead? I think they got it to 11 a couple of times, but that was it.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to toughness. We have an older group. Basketball is a game full of runs, so being able to handle the adversity and just push through. Like you said before, we made a run and got up 15, and they tried to push it back and get it under double digits. But I think we just did a great job of coming together and saying, hey, let's keep this lead up to double digits, and I think that was really important down the stretch.
For Boo, in Coach Izzo's postgame comments, he said about you that you went from a selfish, out-of-control player to one of the best players in the league, that you now run the team. What's your reaction to those comments, and does it mean anything more when you're playing Michigan State?
No, I mean, first of all, that's awesome to say from a legendary coach that I've gotten better. Now that I'm one of the better players in the country now, so to be able to receive a compliment from such a good coach, that's really cool. But I mean, I just try to go out there and work hard every day and just trust in my teammates and trust in my coaches and try to be a better me every day.
Seeing the announcement of Billy McKinney and his jersey being retired, does that give you some added inspiration to one day join him and having that rare honor?
I mean, yeah, that's obviously that's an awesome accolade. But right now we got 17 Big Ten games left, and we're just gonna try to take it one at a time. And the most important thing is this season. So just trying to win as many games as possible. Obviously, if that comes about, that's an awesome accolade. But it's not the main thing.
Coach talked to us about your coach's message to you in the locker room this week after the Illinois loss. So what was your message to each other in the locker room, just to respond like this?
It's one loss, and I just think that we came together after that loss and just said that we just gotta band together and not let one turn into two, and just keep our heads down and just come in and ready to work, because we knew it was going to be a fight tonight.
Y'all came into the game dead last in offensive rebounds per game in the Big Ten, little under 9 a game. You had 8 in the first half. What went into that success on the boards, and was there a conversation before the game about that physicality?
I think we just knew it was just going to be a physical game from the jump, and we knew that if we wanted to compete with them, we were going to have to just be just as physical as they were on the glass and to box out and just to set the tone defensively. I think that's what kind of got us going.
A couple more to the back.
Ty, over your last 4 games, you're shooting about 54% from 3. Kind of what's gone into that, especially after the 2 games prior? I think you were 1 for 10. So How have you been able to stay so hot after a tough stretch?
I would just say, just my teammates' confidence in me, and them finding me the ball or getting me the ball when I'm open, and just trusting in me to knock down shots. And I think at the end of the day, that's all it is. I mean, we all have really good shooters on our team, and your shooters feel good when they feel their teammates' belief in them. And so just the confidence that my teammates give to me has been huge.
Last one in the middle.
Boo, you had a 10-0 assist to turnover ratio today. Over the offseason, it seems like that was the thing you got most better at. What steps did you really take to really improve in the way you have over these past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, I've really just been trying to, learn, not learn, but, just keep trying to make the right read every single time and, get our offense the best shot, every time down the floor, especially if I have the ball. And like Ty said, it's just about trusting in your teammates, and so that's why you got to continuously play the right way, and shots will eventually start falling if they're not, and if they are, then you just keep playing the same way, and then if they try to recover out to the shooters, then that's when I get opportunity to get downhill, and if they help, then kick to Ty Berry and Ryan Langboard, knock them in.
All right, that'll wrap us up for tonight.
Thank you guys.